SowCo Develops' primary purpose in artist services and management is to develop product and tools for the artist and to manage the back-end infrastructure that comes with the artist's work. We began the service line as a natural outcome of the work that we do for two of our primary members, Shane and Scott Sowers, my husband and son. Shane has had a market presence for more than 3 decades. So when we search him on Google, he is easily found. Then we have Scott, who recently entered the scene in the last 5 years. He does various work in film under Bradbury Studios, including his most significant work in the Mr. Worldly Wiseman editorial. For Scott's work in the Mr. Worldly Wiseman editorial, he also collaborates with rising artists and creators for which he must have infrastructure on the back end to properly account for the collaboration and the work that he produces. One of our largest tasks for the artists, since they are not often experienced with administration, is to set up a company and company accounts so that business is not conducted through personal accounts. This thereby protects the assets of the artist, clearly delineates company business as a separate entity from personal business, and provides efficient reporting when required. On a similar note, SowCo Develops treats social media communications the same as communications in customer service channels in general. For example, for SowCo Develops, when customers go to our website, they will see our customer service widget where they may contact us. This widget is part of our larger platform for customer service in general, and in that larger platform, we also connect all text messages and direct messages from all social media platforms on which we are connected, and we save every communication as a customer service ticket. This enables us to efficiently manage communications in one place and ensure that we are connecting with each customer and doing what is required to follow up and resolve any request. In the same way that we do this for our traditional work in SowCo Develops, we set up the artist in this fashion. This allows the artist to efficiently manage communications rather than having to connect through every social media application individually with difficult tracking mechanisms related to follow-up. Connecting through one application for all channels provides a more streamlined method to make sure that the artist is making every connection that they can with their fans and others who desire to be in touch. Among our strengths is streamlining and optimizing services, and this is a great example of how we do this for the artist. Being that the new and small artist business is not typically traditional, at least for the artist with whom SowCo Develops works, it is often the case that the backend is not set up well for backend accounting and operations. Business is not separate from personal. Accounts that should be set up under a separate business entity are instead set up under the artist personally. And when money begins coming in or collaborations are made where money is exchanging hands for services, it is a mess to untangle and report in order to maintain compliance with the law and local, state, and federal agencies. For these artists, when they are just starting out, it does not occur to them to utilize the strengths of traditional business setup and practices in their business. However, doing just this, operating as a traditional business, gives strength to the artist operations. It allows them to efficiently grow as an artist by taking advantage of readily available opportunities with the right channels in place, and it allows them to easily report what is required to report when their business and income begins to grow. This infrastructure is a large part of the service that SowCo Develops provides for the budding artist. Alongside that, because we are creators and developers and programmers, we also have the skill and ability to develop websites, social media material, and promotional material. Therefore, we include this in our service for the artist. Now, for Shane and Scott and my family in general, our primary purpose in everything that we produce as artists has not necessarily been to make an income from our artist work. Our driving force behind what we do is to provide resources for the Christian church, universally speaking, to promote discipleship and to reach out with the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, to our local church, our community, the church universal, and to the world. However, producing this work is expensive and therefore does require an income. Additionally, having more of an income allows us to create more in order to better further our primary purpose of outreach, producing necessary resources for the church, and sharing the gospel. Therefore, here at SowCo Develops, in order to further our primary purpose, we do invest an extensive amount of time in educating ourselves in social media monetization and royalty collection. This is a full-time job by itself, and the knowledge that we obtain is a valuable resource that we pass on to the artists with whom we work in order to enable them to lay hold of social media monetization and obtain all royalties on the table. In summary, for SowCo Develops Artist Services and Management product, we come alongside the budding artist and walk them through the same road we have walked. The artist provides the talent and the art, and we provide product and structure, including recording, mixing, mastering, shipping the work to market, promotion, development, and management of back-end infrastructure and tools such as websites and profiles. We do this for the budding artist, or in other words, those artists who are beginning their career and do not yet have a large fan base. If we are beginning our work together, the next steps are to let us know what you have already done and your vision going forward. Your vision is a loose idea given to SowCo Develops of how you envision your business to be set up. A perfect example of this is what sort of branding you desire. We will then take your existing work and vision and produce it and organize it so that it is a reality, streamlined, and legal. Therefore, as you earn income, your business, your art will be positioned to be presented, financially beneficial, and sustainable. The way that I described our work in this service to my son was by analogy. I told him that it is as if he gives me a mess of a home that has the potential to be presented well, ready to receive guests, clean and organized. He gives me the general material in order to transform it into the home that he wants, and I do the work to make it so. This is what SowCo Develops does. We take your vision and what you have on the table, no matter how messy it may be, and produce and organize it according to what you communicate to us that you want.